Ding, ding, ding. Emergency press conference. Saturday night, September 17th.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Oh my God! Coming to the ring, the champion.
You gonna do that a bunch? I'm gonna be pissing blood. Jesus.
Canelo's right in the corner. 30 seconds in the round, and Canelo is in deep, deep water.
The best pound-for-pound fighter maybe ever at super middle. Me, Big Cat, Robbie, Caleb, Roan, the whole crew, we are calling a fight. The only way to get it, DAZN.com. Download it, watch it, September 17th. Canelo, Triple G, the trilogy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
All right, everybody, welcome to the T-Mobile Arena in beautiful, scenic downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Large, and we're about to do the Barstool Sports pre-fight show, working in conjunction with DAZN for the Canelo versus Triple G Part 3 that we're going to be watching in just a couple of hours, and we're going to be watching on DAZN pay-per-view. Listen, I'd like to think that I'm somewhat of a boxing expert, but I'm not. It's bullshit. So what I needed to do is I needed to bring on somebody who's very good to break down the undercard. And I've been lucky enough to bring on a fucking legend. One of my favorite people in boxing, one of my favorite people outside of boxing. Her name is Claudia Trejos. If you don't know Claudia, think about everything you could do in boxing, and she's done it in both English and Spanish. So here's Claudia. They're gonna go to a two-shot. She looks a hell of a lot better than me, even though my shoes are kind of kicking today, as opposed to you, right? Look at these goddamn things. So Claudia.
And you do have pretty feet.
I do, I know, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I love those shoes. Can we share?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do not Google Claudia Trejos' feet, because you will be inundated with results. So Claudia, what exactly are you doing for the fight tonight?
Well, tonight I'm going to be the color commentator along with Mikey Garcia and my partner for so many years, Ricardo Celis.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Mikey Garcia, a 4-division champion, just recently retired. He does a great job on the apron. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna have Caleb, I'm gonna have Roan, I'm gonna have Robbie. They're all gonna be here to break down the main event, but I wanna make sure we take a look at this undercard correctly. I wanna make sure we take a look at this correctly, because there's a lot of good, straight up superstars on this undercard. A lot of it's chalk, a lot of big favorites. I'm saying a lot.
Yes.
So I'm going to go through it one by one with Claudia. So if you guys don't mind, let's get to the fights. Is that cool with you?
Let's do it.
So the first fight of the night is a young kid. His name is Austin Williams. They call him Ammo. Austin Ammo Williams. He's from Houston.
Right?
Why?
Because he works like ammo. Once he gets his rhythm going, it's like flurry after flurry after flurry. That's why his nickname is Ammo.
Oh, okay. And sometimes he comes in with like a machine gun, like kind of worked into his pattern and stuff like that.
We try to walk away from that.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, we were trying to walk that back. He shows up everywhere with his pet dog, including the weigh-in. Ammo Williams and I have spoke a couple of times. He was on the undercard of one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, the Serrano-Taylor fight. And he was very impressive on that undercard. We'll talk about that in a sec. And he's fighting a gentleman named Kieran Conway. He's fighting a gentleman named Kieran Conway. What belt are they fighting for?
They're fighting for the WBA International Middleweight title.
Okay.
It's a minor title, but what that means is it's opening the position for either fighter to become #1 opponent for a world title.
Who do you like? I'm going to start off with that. I know that's probably how I'm going to end most of this. But who do you like? Ammo is a big favorite. He's minus 670 on the Barstool Sportsbook. I implore you guys to go to the Barstool Sportsbook and check out the odds. Greatest in the world. But who do you like? Who do you like tonight with Austin being a big favorite?
You're a numbers guy, so I'm going to give you 82% versus 19%. What
Okay.
would you take?
I would take 82% every day.
Okay, there goes that. It's Ammo Williams.
Okay.
When 82% of your victories have come via knockout, we understand this kid has power. Now he's got youth, he's got hunger, plus he's the favorite, he's in the house. It's very hard to come all the way from the UK to take somebody else's belt.
Now, I don't mean to talk out of school, but Ammo has been extremely forthcoming with the fact that he's been dealing with some issues lately. He took some time off, said he had some mental issues to take care of. In this day and age, particularly with like fighters that we both enjoy, like Teofimo Lopez, we sometimes seen guys who get into their own heads, and it really affects them once they come into the ring. Do you think that's one of those factors that people are already looking at? You think it's something that's being overlooked? I know that Ammo is a dangerous southpaw. Hard-hitting, dangerous southpaw with a big knockout ratio. I get that. But do you think those like little intangibles? Because Kieran Conway is not a small guy.
No,
he's a big guy, and he's an accomplished fighter. But do you think that could make a little bit of a difference this time?
It could be, but I am sure that Ammo knows exactly what he needs to do, and he's been very careful with his energy.
Okay.
He's been very conservative with the type of exposure that he's getting for the last week. And that saves, obviously, his mindset. And this is a guy that has already performed, like you said, in the big stage, in America, in huge fights. So that is another intangible that we need to put into the equation. I'm not going to take anything away from the UK, but he's never been exposed to this type of media attention. And with that being said, he has been touted as one of the greatest talents coming out. He's been boxing since he was 9, so there's a lot of pressure since he was 10, 12 years old. He was already being looked at.
Right.
So I understand that perhaps he just needed that time away from the ring to just do a reset.
Understood. All right, so I'm not overly worried with that, but I will tell you something. So Ammo Williams, when he spoke to me before the Serrano fight, had said, "Large, you look like a drinker. This is what he said to me too, which I thought was a little bit brash. Don't get up for a drink when my fight starts." I said, "I love that. Talk some shit, champ." He wound up knocking out, what the hell was the guy? Cordell Booker. Wound up knocking out Cordell Booker in 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So I spent some time with Ammo yesterday during the weigh-in, and I said, "Ammo, remember me?" He's like, yeah, the drinker and all that kind of stuff. I said, "Should I be worried getting up for a drink?" And he did tell me, he said, "Large, I'm going to figure this guy out. I'm not going to come right at him. I'm going to have that left stuck out just in case he tries to do some shit. But in general, I think I'm going to work this fight a little bit more." So I don't think he's going for or expects that early knockout. And therefore, you know, we're a gambling show. We're a gambling company, Barstool. I know that's not necessarily your bag. So I know with the heavy favorite like Austin Williams, I'm taking a look at that 8.5 round over, and I think I'm jumping all over it. It's the only value that I can find in this fight.
Well, let's look at this.
8.5 rounds is a lot, though, against Ammo Williams.
I don't think it's going to go that far.
So you don't like it?
But I don't like it, but it's me. Because we also have to add, this kid comes all the way from the UK and just fought 42 days ago. So that could work against.
Right.
Because there's always deterioration, there's exhaustion, there's the mental part of a fight.
Right.
We don't always put that into the equation.
Right.
But he's already been through the grinder 42 days ago, and now he's going to face somebody that has an 82% victories via knockout. So he's not only going to face somebody that comes in aggressive, cuts the ring beautifully, and it's flurry after flurry after flurry. You don't have time to breathe. He's a shorter guy, perhaps a little bit stocky, but he's shorter. Again, how do you cut the distance? How do you, when...
He didn't look shorter in weigh-ins. He looked like he was a pretty big guy. Either way, I think we're on the... First of all, I've been looking into the camera. I love this girl. This is exactly what we need to start off this show. I think this is exactly what we need to start off this show. I'm starting to get more comfortable, even though this heating lamp is treating me like a fucking Chick-fil-A. So we're both on the same page. We like Ammo Williams. I think this thing might stretch out further than 8.5. You're saying that he probably might get him out of there beforehand. Yeah. And the 76-day layoff is a huge point, one that I didn't pay attention to, so you embarrassed me with that one. Let's go to the second one.
This is what I do.
Yes, that's what you do. So there's only 3 fights on the undercard.
Yes.
So please, if you're going to get to the DAZN pay-per-view, if you're watching this on Barstool right now and DAZN pay-per-view and you're on the East Coast, I know you guys are used to like these midnight ring walks and stuff. There's only 3 fights on this undercard. We can get Canelo starting this ring walk at around 11 o'clock Eastern time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you don't want to all of a sudden tune in from something else, think that you're going to grab this, and you're only going to see the last 2 rounds. DAZN pay-per-view, ring walk for the main event is probably going to be around 11 o'clock. By the way, don't wait till 11, and we're about to tell you why. So the second fight on the undercard. What a segue, right?
Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful segue, because we have a great surprise. Well, it's not a surprise, actually. We already...
Well, people told me, they were like, oh, the undercard is just okay.
No.
But the undercard... Yeah, I think the undercard, when they said that, is I think the favorite should win okay. But I think they're trying to highlight, especially, you know, Matchroom and whatnot, that they have fucking superstars.
Why
so we're going to
wouldn't
get to see them. You're
Yes.
100%. So we're going to Ammo Williams. We're going to the second fight. I'm going to break this down.
Ahmedov against Gabriel Rosado.
Ali Ahmedov versus Gabriel Rosado. Gabriel Rosado, for boxing fans, particularly Mexican boxing fans, is a superhero.
Absolutely. Well,
Boxing fans love him.
Yes, we all do.
Yes,
And
I love
Mexicans, just because even though he's Puerto Rican,
Right.
he's very much game.
Yes.
And he's willing to go into the middle of the ring and just brawl.
Right.
And I
He's a
love
Puerto
that
Rican
kid.
superhero
Yes.
that Mexicans buy the comic book. Is that fair?
Fair.
So he's a guy that's been around. He's 36 years old. Gabriel Rosado. We're not even going to talk about the favorite right now. We'll get to Ali Ahmedov in a second. Gabriel Rosado is 36 years old. The thing about Gabe, and you're going to agree with me, he fights everybody.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought Canelo. He's fought everybody in his career. The problem with Gabe Rosado is that he's lost to a lot of people. Gabe Rosado has 15 losses on his record. He's a very busy fighter. He fights quite a bit, but he's 15 losses on his record. And whenever he had fight of the knockout of the year last year.
Knockout of the year against
right?
Ceremeta.
Yeah,
Yes.
Becky Bull, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when he does put people away, it brings the fucking roof down. I love watching Gabe Rosado fight.
Gabe is he just knows how to do it big. He
Yes.
either loses big or wins big.
Right.
And I'm going to go back into history, but he gave Gennady Golovkin a tremendous fight. Then he
Right.
faced Peter Quillin. Then he faced Willie Monroe Jr.
Correct.
And the list goes on. Jay Leon Love. And he just doesn't know how to take a step back.
He doesn't
want to do it.
Right.
And trust me, he's been trained by great fighters, great trainers like Freddie Roach.
Freddie Roach, yeah.
And of course, he just came back from a training camp with Ivan Calderon. 108, great champion,
Right.
and God knows he knows how to walk the ring. And he's worked a lot in his footwork. But even Ivan told me, it doesn't really matter how well he can do things. He just loves to get in there and brawl.
Well, here's the thing, and I know it breaks people's heart. I think he gets knocked out tonight. So we look at his 15 losses. 4 of them are by knockout. One of those knockouts was by a guy named Triple G.
Yes.
And Ali Ahmedov, for people who don't know, is part of that Triple G camp.
Yes.
He's one of those guys that comes along, fights on the undercard all the time.
He's actually promoted by Triple G.
Yes, and he's a disciple also.
Yes.
So he's very, very capable of knocking just about anybody out in the middleweight division. He had gotten upset by that Gongora. Gongora.
There you go.
So much
I knew
better
you
at
could
that
pull
shit
it
than me.
off.
That's terrible. And since then, that was, I think, 3 fights ago, so he's had 2 fights since. And since then, he's had a little bit something to prove. This is me talking about Ali Ahmedov. So now Ali is going in and fighting a guy like Gabe Rosado with something to prove. And Gabe Rosado is 36 years old. He's fought everybody. He has a lot of time getting punched in the face over the course of his career. I just watched him fight Sugar Shane Mosley's kid.
Yes.
And I'm not taking anything away from Sugar Shane Mosley's kid, but he's not Sugar Shane. And I thought Rosado looked like dog shit against him. He lost in a decision. So I just don't like him in this fight. I don't think anybody does. Ali is a heavy favorite, minus 715. And I think I'm going to find some value on watching Ahmedov possibly knock him out, somewhere over 12. Give me your thoughts.
Can I
Please.
just say
Whatever you want.
overconfidence?
Me?
No, not on you.
Oh, okay.
Gabe walked in that fight understanding that his experience superseded any type of experience.
Oh,
that
against Mosley.
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I think, and we all make that mistake.
Sure.
We walk in a little cocky into the office.
You just
and
did it. You fucking green dress.
That's what I do.
You embarrassed me. Yeah.
It's my highlighter dress.
100%.
And I love,
it's
starting my
absolutely stunning.
stuff.
It's absolutely stunning. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
And there is a level of confidence that sometimes you walk into the office and you just don't close a sale. He just didn't have the best day at the office. He did not close the sale that night. But I will never count him out against somebody like Ahmedov. Not because he doesn't have the power or the boxing skills. It's just experience versus experience. I mean, again, we just mentioned the type and level of opponents that somebody like Gabriel Rosado has faced.
Okay.
And he's pulled upsets, and he's pulled losses that were by a tooth. So I'm saying everything is on the... Today, we're going to put... We say this in Spanish, la carne en el asador. That means we're going to put all the meat in the barbecue. All of it. We're not going to save anything for later. This is a day that Gabriel Rosado is going to put everything on the line.
Did you just hit us with a Spanish barbecue reference?
Of course.
Oh, Jesus. So I'm saying that he's getting knocked out. You're not only saying that he's not getting knocked out, you're saying that there is a good shot, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that we're going to see an upset in this one, Gabriel Rosado versus Ali Ahmedov.
Wait, because
that's why they hold fights.
Wait, hold on a second.
Okay,
Remember
please.
back in the day at Hard Rock in Florida, and we did not expect him to take a win against Sheremeta.
Right.
So you know what? It ain't over till the fat lady sings. I got Brady's Prescott against Amir Khan. Anybody can have a Brady's Prescott night.
That's correct. So we differ here a little bit on Rosado, but again, people who love boxing love Gabe Rosado probably more than they should. So that's what I'm going to do with that. All right, there's only one more fight on this undercard. Three-fight undercard, and this last fight is the co-main event, and it deserves to be because it's an absolute young superstar. The gentleman who's fighting on the co-main event, who is the favorite, is the youngest belt holder in the world, right? Major belt holder in the world. His name is Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and he is the future of boxing. I think that's easy to say when you have a 22-year-old superstar.
I got news for you. He's not the future, he's the present.
Okay.
Not only did he go up 2 weight divisions on a 5-day call to take one of the most experienced fighters coming from Mexico at 115, Carlos Cuadras, who had been among the 4 kings in that division.
Right.
That included Chocolatito, that included Gallo Estrada, that included Rungvisai, and he knocked out 2 out of those 4.
Yes, he did. So here we go. So people who aren't familiar with some of the names that Claudia just threw up in the super flyweight division, this gentleman came in on a moment's notice to win a belt above his skis, above his weight. 2 divisions. But again, we're talking about the difference between 115 and 108. That's something that I gained at breakfast. So I don't think people can really understand that when you're a fine-tuned athlete like these guys, the difference between 108 and 115 is a world of difference.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit skeptical about this guy at this weight. He reminds me of a Lomachenko. The way he cuts off the ring, the way he's so active, the way he's so athletic. He's got a tremendous IQ. But I always wanted Lomachenko to fight below lightweight. And the same way, you win a belt at super flyweight, not easily, but so quickly, then you have a defense that's absolutely gangbusters. You kind of get stuck at the wrong goddamn weight. So you have Israel Gonzalez. Israel Gonzalez is promising to send him back to 112, to send him back to 108, at a weight that Israel Gonzalez, who I'm not saying is one of these guys that looks better on paper by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a guy that is a game fighter. So you have a heavy favorite in Bam Rodriguez, minus 2,500, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know, when you see super flyweights, we're going to get to see this fight. We're going to see these gentlemen throw 1,200 punches, right? It's going to be very busy. This card is lopsided as far as that goes. It's middleweights, super middleweights, super flyweights, nothing else. We don't get a big boy.
No 147, no heavyweights.
Yeah, they can throw in like a Big Bang Zhang or something like that to make me happy.
Fought.
I know, but still, he's good on a moment's notice. My point is that for people who are used to watching middleweights and above, you're going to see so much leather being exchanged that I think it's one of those fights that's going to probably go the distance. That's why I like the over on this one. I like the over at 8.5 rounds because I think that Israel Gonzalez doesn't have what it takes to beat Bam Rodriguez, but I think he has what it takes to probably get to the championship rounds. What's up?
Okay, so the only thing that we are not putting in that equation that you so eloquently stated is the fact that he's being trained by Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Don Eduardo Garcia. He's been working out with the likes of Mikey Garcia, and he usually trains with 147 pounders.
Are you going against me again on this?
Of course I am.
Okay, so you like Bam and you like him getting out there early.
Yes.
I can't put words in your mouth quicker than that because I got to get you ringside. It just went to my ear. So I need, before you go, I need you to give me your call on Canelo versus Triple G because I could sit here all fucking day and talk to you. Give me your idea on Canelo versus Triple G Part 3.
I cannot give you my prediction because but what I am going to tell you, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Do not count Triple G out. This is a guy that knows exactly what to do. This is round 25. They know each other all too well. They're very hungry. The one sentence I'm going to leave you with is, I want to retire him. Guess who said that?
Triple G. Canelo Alvarez wants to retire the 40-year-old boxer, and I get it. All right, so this is Claudia Trejos. Claudia Trejos is going to be doing the ringside, the play-by-play for DAZN Spanish. She's one of my best friends and one of the best people within the boxing industry. Thank you so much. Do this whenever the hell you want.
We have cigars tonight?
100%. At least 1 or 2 cigars tonight. Claudia, thank you so much. I love you. All right, so listen, we're going to have Rowdy, we're going to have Roan, we're going to have Caleb up next. But before we do that, I spent a little bit of time in the ring with Canelo again, even though I'm fat and I'm 50 and I have gout and I have 3 kids. And so we have a little bit of a video made up about that, and we're going to kick to it right now. All right, let's talk some boxing. In one corner, we have Saul Alvarez. You know him as Canelo. In the other corner, we have Gennady Golovkin. You know him as Triple G. 2017, they fought to a draw. People took Triple G's side. September 2018, Canelo versus Triple G Part 2. Another action-packed fight. Some people thought Fight of the Year for 2018. But he wins another very close decision. This September 17th, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G will fight for the last time to decide who is the best in the super middleweight division. There will be no questions left. All right, so I am driving around in San Diego looking for Canelo's training camp. Secret location, and I have absolutely no idea where I am. I understand why he's doing this. I just didn't realize that I was going on a fucking treasure hunt to get an interview. There's no boxing gym around here. So we're looking for a gathering spot. I'm calling it the G spot, and I'm unable to find the G spot in San Diego, no matter how hard I try. Canelo! Saul! That's his real first name. Canelo is a nickname. Where the fuck am I? And then I thought we made a real connection. So that's why I call him my mi mejor amigo. I believe that's best friend. I'm gonna ask the boys. Saul! All right, I'm just gonna say it. I'm pretty sure we're lost. Saul! So finally, we're pulling into the site of the secret Canelo Alvarez fight camp. I don't know what the plan is. This fight is special because everyone's angry. Triple G's angry, Canelo's angry. That's why I'm thinking this thing's gonna end in a knockout. What's up, brother? How are you? Good to see you. How's things? Doing well? Good, good. We're gonna talk in a little bit, right? We'll catch up. Greatest fighter in the world. Unified, undisputed super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez, and my good friend. Give him a little time to himself. This is the biggest fight that Barstool's ever been involved with, hands down. Canelo Alvarez is about to go into a ring for the 3rd time against Gennady Golovkin on September 17th. I'm sitting... All right, so it's fight week. I just touched down in Las Vegas, and I feel fantastic. Dave hooked me up with a private jet out to here. Now I'm headed over to the T-Mobile Arena for an exclusive walkthrough of Canelo versus Triple G Part 3. It's gonna be a great fucking week. All right, not a good sign that the limo never came that Dave sent me, but I guess I can get my steps in. Come on! No, large from Barstool. Yeah, I'm supposed to be breaking down the fight. Canelo, Triple G, both here in the ring. No, Dave from yeah, the pizza guy. He was supposed to call. You haven't heard any of this? Oh, Jesus. All right, we gotta go plan B. All right, fuck, I just got screwed at T-Mobile. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I gotta pick a fighter now. We're almost at fight night, and I don't even know which way I'm gonna go. Let's go videotape watch. Buckle down, let's look at some tape. You're smart enough. Let's make a decision. Canelo, what does he got? He's got a lot of speed, right? He's shorter, he can kind of move around, cuts off the ring real well. That Triple G, man, he comes straight forward, doesn't stop punching. And look at Canelo, he's 32 years old, he's in the prime of his career. But on the other hand, you got Triple G, the guy just turned 40. Nobody knows how tough 40 is like you do, Large. Big Cat. Hey, Dan.
Hey, where are you?
I'm in Vegas. I've been in Vegas for a couple of days trying to figure out this fucking fight. Where are you?
I'm in Vegas too. I'm standing outside of the arena. I'm ready to go. I need to know though, like, who we're gonna bet on.
Dan, I'm telling you, I've been tearing this fight apart. I've been looking at it from every viewpoint, studying tape. I can't come up with it. I'm having the toughest time in the world.
All right, I got an idea. Meet me in the gym in 20 minutes.
20 minutes in the gym. I will definitely be there. I can use all the help I can get.
Okay, all right, see you there.
All right, see you, baby. All right, Big Cat to the rescue.
DAZN and Barstool back together September 17th. The trilogy, Triple G and Canelo. We will be there, our broadcast. These guys hate each other. It will probably be the last time they ever see each other in the ring. And I have our boxing expert, my good friend, Large, here to help us break it down. So we're gonna break down the fight with our own tail of the tape, tail of the shots. Large is gonna go through every single category here. If he likes Triple G, he's gonna drink a shot of vodka. If he likes Canelo, he's gonna drink a shot of tequila. Let's get him drunk. Who has the speed advantage?
Canelo's 32 years old. Triple G is 40 years old. We know we get slower as we get older, particularly you. So Canelo by a mile.
Who has the power advantage?
Triple G by far on the power.
Okay, so take
Triple
a shot of vodka.
Oof.
This is where the truth starts to come out. Let's go with experience. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Do you
perfect.
need a standing 10
No,
count?
Triple G, 350 amateur fights. Even though he hasn't had as many professional fights, and because I just don't like tequila, I think Triple G gets it on experience.
Okay. Large is going to be hammered for the rest of the day. Let's go with anger.
I think Canelo is dying to put this behind him. I think Canelo's the angrier of the
All
two.
right. More to lose.
More to lose. Triple G loses this fight, he's never coming back to boxing again.
And if Canelo?
If Canelo loses his fight, that's 2 in a row for a generational fighter. 100% with the bullets, Canelo with more to lose.
I agree. I'm getting just a secondhand drunk. Let's go with intangibles.
Okay.
He's wasted right now. This is great.
Triple G is a licensed gym teacher. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
He's a twin. Twins are weird.
Twins are weird.
Canelo's cut and dry. 100% the gym teacher twin, Triple G.
So now it's 3-3.
I just laid everything out for you. What's your call? As
All
a
right.
betting guy,
yes, I'm gonna
what's
call
your
it.
call?
All right. I'm going to take the younger guy off a loss who has more at risk. I will take Canelo. I will do a shot for you, Large. You did like 7 shots, the least I can do. Cheers.
I'll do one for my man, Triple.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner, and I'm just mad.
I feel very comfortable. I feel strong. I feel ready. All boxing fans, come on, guys. If you're really boxing fan, you know who is the real champion.
I'm gonna come better than ever in this fight, and I'm gonna look for the knockout every single round, every single minute.
It's Canelo versus Triple G, Part 3. You can catch it only on DAZN pay-per-view, and Barstool is all over it. Make sure you tune in, because this is going to be the best of the 3, guaranteed. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We just had Claudia Trejos come in and break down that undercard for Canelo Triple G, which is tonight, and you can catch it on DAZN pay-per-view. Again, that ring walk is probably going to be 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. You got to tune in early. Got to tune in early to catch the main event. So we went from Claudia, who is the absolute consummate professional, to 2 other consummate professionals that are my friends and my co-workers at Barstool Sports. To my immediate left, I have a gentleman named Robbie Fox. Robbie Fox, you may know as a UFC expert, but also the voice of Rough and Rowdy along with Dave and Dan. And then to his immediate left, my non-immediate left, is a gentleman named Adam Roan. Everyone knows him as Roan. He's handsome, he's charming, and there isn't a thing that he doesn't do well except smoke cigars.
Wow.
I'm a better cigar smoker than Roan, which
This is an ambush.
We found out definitively just the other night. We've been in Vegas for a couple of days. There's been some alcohol involved, maybe some other stuff, but there's also been some cigars, and he's fucking terrible at it.
I learned from you that you want to have the longest ash possible.
Yeah.
We were in an ash-off contest. I was right there with you, Large. You're making it seem like I was blown out of the water, but it was really one of the tighter fights that we're going to see this weekend.
This reminds me of Triple G Canelo Part 1.
Wow.
Where you feel like you got robbed, but it doesn't matter because I still got the W. Do you see that? You
Yeah.
see that?
Was Adelaide Bird
nice.
involved in this?
Adelaide Bird, probably one of the worst judges ever in the history of judging. Also, Caleb Presley, who you know from Sunday Conversation and having the best hair in Barstool, has also joined us. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, what are you guys doing here? What exactly are we all going to be doing tonight for the call, along with DAZN, Barstool on the call? What are you guys doing? Robbie, first you. What are you going to be doing?
We are here doing basically a rough and rowdy broadcast for the most prestigious trilogy fight that you could possibly put on in Las Vegas. It's an honor to be here calling such a prestigious trilogy fight, but we're going to give it a little rough and rowdy flavor. We're going to get loose with it.
Can you give people perspective, people who don't know rough and rowdy? Sometimes we might even pay those fighters in meth. What do those guys make to fight rough and rowdy? Is $500?
I think with a knockout you might make $500, yeah.
Canelo is set to make almost $65 million when you include some of the pay-per-view incentives, and I think Triple G's basement on this is 20 with all the upside in the world. Is that kind of fucking, is it daunting? Are you afraid to make that leap from Wheeling, West Virginia to Las Vegas, Nevada?
Large, the stakes are just a bit higher.
A little bit higher. All right, and then
Are we getting paid the same?
No, absolutely not. You guys are not getting paid to scale. And then two guys that are also going to be running around the arena, do kind of man on the street stuff better than anybody else that I've ever met, are Caleb and Roan. What else are you guys going to be doing tonight?
I don't know. We just brought up, kind of made me feel like we should get a little increase too, huh?
Yeah, we should be getting more money. We are going to be talking to a lot of celebrities in the building. Caleb can talk about some other celebrities that'll be here, but I know one that I've heard definitively we'll be talking to tonight, Madonna. We'll be talking to Madonna tonight. Caleb, I know you have some other celebrities that you wanted to tell them about that are going to be in the building. Gloria Estefan.
I have, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Latina stars who are going to be here, but last time we were here, who was it? Mark Davis came in?
Mark Davis came in with a gaggle of
gaggle. I was going to say gaggle as well.
It was a gaggle.
Gaggle of hot chicks.
We couldn't get him. Like, we waved him down.
Well,
yeah. It was
Mark Davis. Dude, he looks good, though.
He does.
He stays looking good. Every year after year, it's the same cut, but it's kind of a timeless look.
And people make fun of it, but why was he with so many beautiful women then?
Yeah, and why does he have $1 billion?
Yeah, explain that. Can anyone explain that? But, I mean, Las Vegas, the stars come out. Everybody is underneath the spotlights. This is a massive moment, the biggest fight week of the year to me.
I spoke with the production team at DAZN. They were adamant when we covered the last fight, the Bivol-Canelo fight, that you can never let sideline or reporters, any people in press, to have roaming credentials. You guys will be the first two people, Caleb and Roan, to ever have roaming credentials inside a prize fight like that, meaning that you can harass just about anybody inside the T-Mobile. Nobody is safe inside the T-Mobile arena.
Yeah, it might be a mistake. I think they might have had the right call, but they didn't do it.
Is it daunting? I mean, again, like I've watched you guys at Rough and Rowdy. Nobody does it better. They added me to the Rough and Rowdy crew, and I sit in the back and I interview fighters. I love to do that. That's what I'm doing tonight.
Right.
I'll be at the Step and Repeat interviewing fighters and whatever celebrities you guys don't want. But you guys do this better than anybody at Rough and Rowdy. I'm assuming you're going to do it better than anyone tonight. Is it daunting? Are you guys nervous? Do you get nervous?
I'll tell you what. We talked personally with Eddie Hearn before this fight.
So handsome.
And he wanted us to know that if we want to climb into the ring with Gennady Golovkin ourselves, but in between rounds, stick a microphone in his face, he welcomes that. It's going to be unprecedented access. I'm not scared.
I mean, I'm a little scared. A little scared.
I'm scared. I'm a little scared.
I would say probably
I could be honest then.
6 to 10 nerves. But at the same time, you got to think, Rough and Rowdy, we're in West Virginia. It's a certain type of demographic.
Right.
But here in Las Vegas, a Canelo fight, I mean, I was with you guys in Dallas, and that was a special night as well. But it's a certain type of, I mean, he has a gaggle of fans as well,
That's right.
and they're interesting people too. And so someone needs to talk to them, and since it is unprecedented, I think we'd be doing everyone a disservice if we didn't make it something special.
I think two words that we're going to use a lot are unprecedented and gaggle.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And with the recent experience that you guys have had through Rough and Rowdy and through DAZN, are you guys big fight fans now? I know you've always been, Robbie.
Of course.
You've drawn the line. You like UFC better than boxing, and
Not tonight.
Not tonight. 100%. Are you guys big fight fans now?
Nope.
No, right? That's fucking awesome.
I love being here with Joe. I mean, I've never been to any type of, I've never watched anything boxing other than Rough and Rowdy and these events.
Right, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I study at the altar of the sweet science. I'm a pugilism expert, and I have been for quite some time.
Well, tell him, Roan actually worked Penn State boxing tournaments while he was
I used
at
to
Penn
write
State.
about the Penn State boxing team when I was in college.
Really?
So I've always had a little bit of, just a curiosity. But I think that I'm a casual fan. But then on weekends like this, when we get to come to the fights, there's nothing more exciting. We were talking about earlier when Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders 2 fights ago in Dallas. One of the most electric fight atmospheres or sporting event atmospheres that we'd ever been to.
Yeah, I told him I think it's my best sporting event experience being alive at the event was that Dallas fight.
So it was the largest crowd ever in the United States for a professional boxing match. I think it beat Ali Spink's Part 2 inside a football arena, right? A football stadium, a 21 by 21 foot ring with 78,000 people all concentrating on that small. I thought that was probably one of the most electric things that I've ever done in my long and storied career also. So you guys have actually cherry picked and been to the best of the best.
Yeah, it's been incredible. One of our favorite things about the fights every time is how Canelo comes out. He's going to come out with fanfare, mariachis, displays. The crowd will be going insane. It's going to be electric.
And Rob, you're involved, right? Are you going to be involved in that walkout or?
Well, I don't know if I'm necessarily involved in the walkout, but I love the walkout. I love the Canelo walkout. We were just talking about that Billy Joe Saunders fight. That might have been my favorite part of being there at the AT&T Stadium. Watching Canelo come out, it sends shivers down my spine. Last time we had a mariachi version of the Final Countdown.
Correct.
So Canelo's walkout, I look forward to almost as much as I look forward to the fight tonight. It's Mexican Independence Week here in Las Vegas. You know the Mexican crowd is going to be going insane. Goosebump City. Look out for an amazing walkout from Canelo.
The gentleman who is walking him out tonight is Alejandro Fernandez.
Fernandez.
Grammy Award winner. Family has a huge music legacy. His dad was Vicente Fernandez, who walked out with Julio Cesar Chavez.
Wow.
Considered probably one of the greatest Mexican fighters who ever lived. This guy is a panty soaker. This guy for tonight, so when El Rey did like the mariachi thing, it brought down the house. Tonight's guest, who's going to be bringing out Canelo, is then getting into a chopper and going straight to a live performance.
Wow.
So everybody, I'm telling you,
Vegas?
yes.
The Life
It's
is
crazy.
Beautiful
You
festival,
really need the chopper?
Yeah, so he's got the. I think he's going from here to the MGM Grand.
Dude, get
Like,
an Uber, dude.
Yeah, I think
No,
it'd be
he
more-
hates traffic. He's at that point.
Freaking Taylor
You know what I
Swift
mean?
over here.
Okay, dude, all right.
I don't mean to come at you on that.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't want to tune into Alejandro Fernandez, I don't want to know anything about you. He always really go, and then like Triple G won't have hardly anything.
No, probably not.
Yeah, he'll have
more of a
somebody on the-
standard. He'll just walk to the ring, you
On
know.
the pan flute.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this fight, Robbie? As one of the fight guys that can break shit down, what are you expecting from the main event?
You know, I've been thinking about it a lot. I rewatched the first 2 fights. I watched some fan-made documentaries on YouTube that were tremendous in the lead up to this fight. And I gotta say, I know it was close the first 2 times. I know really if you were looking at the first 2 fights and you said who rocked who had the biggest moment, it might have been Triple G in the second fight in the 10th round. It looked like he had Canelo hurt. Canelo dealt with it well, but it did look like he was hurt. I think that changes tonight. I think the 4 years is going to be a big difference maker in this fight, and I think it favors Canelo a lot. I think Canelo's going to get the job done and finish Gennady Golovkin.
I will remember the 9th round of the first fight. I know you said 10 of 2, 9 of 1, where Canelo had hit him with a right hook, had hit Gennady with a right hook across his face, and everyone in the arena went, ooh, and Gennady shook it off, and afterwards said it was just a slap.
Yeah.
So I think people who are doubting that Gennady Golovkin has a chin for the ages are going to be sorely disappointed. I don't like to jump ahead to predictions, but I always know that one person in particular likes to break stuff down and usually goes out on a limb. So as me and Robbie are talking intelligently about this fight, Roan, who do you like tonight? Who and how do you like tonight? We still got some time left here, but who and how do you like it?
We know Canelo's pedigree, that he has never touched the canvas in his entire career. 2 losses to 2 different men, but he's never touched the canvas. But tonight, Large, Robbie, Caleb, America, that all changes. I think in the first round, with the very first punch of the night, Gennady Golovkin fells Canelo Alvarez, knocking him out cold, rendering him unconscious in front of all of Las Vegas and the entire Strip, dismaying Mexicans and American fans alike right after Mexican Independence Day.
Okay, so putting a nail in the coffin, first punch. Not first round.
The first punch of the entire fight. He meets him in the center of the ring, a straight right to the chin, and he leaves Canelo Alvarez Tweety birds around his head. A lump coming out like a cartoon character that just had an anvil dropped on them. It's Gennady Golovkin's night, and all of Kazakhstan will celebrate.
Gennady Golovkin down Main Street, first punch of the night, puts Canelo on his back, he never recovers, and somebody makes a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody makes a lot of money. You agree with that, Caleb?
This doesn't happen often, but I agree with Roan here. I think that Canelo goes out so hard, it's the last we even ever hear of him. You won't see a golf video. You won't hear any type of Showtime special 10 years from now at 30 for 30.
No.
Any type of nostalgia for Canelo won't even happen. It will only be about the night that Canelo went out to never be heard from again. This will be, mark my words, the last time anyone at home ever sees Canelo publicly or on TV. You'll never see him again.
It's going to be like Men in Black. As soon as that punch happens, everyone's memory will be wiped of Canelo Alvarez. Everyone.
Okay, so now, Robbie, you have the opportunity to be the voice of reason here. What do you think about this? What do you think about an unprecedented gaggle of people saying that the first punch of this fight will take Canelo not only out of the fight, but out of the industry?
Large, I think it's ludicrous.
Okay.
And you brought up the chin of Gennady Golovkin, and I do agree that chin is fantastic.
Right.
What we've seen, though, the body can't always hold up. Right? He's been hurt with shots to the body twice since the last Canelo fight.
Right.
So I think Canelo digs to the body tonight. I think he changes up the strategy a little bit, goes for those power shots to the body, fires them off, and finishes them with a liver shot.
Chops down a 40-year-old tree and ends it with a liver shot, which is the most fun shot in boxing.
Yeah.
Right? To see all of a sudden that guy's face change, we're starting to get the Canelo fans show up. They had just heard live what Caleb and Roan had said about their absolute hero, and they're starting to sharpen the pitchforks and light the fucking torches.
Julio Cesar Chavez is walking in past us right now, surrounded by Canelo fans. Unfortunately, they have no idea how disappointed they're about.
Canelo's legacy is approaching Julio Cesar Chavez's, and that might end tonight. I don't agree with it, neither does Robbie, but you guys are pretty confident.
Well, we know what we know. And we don't know what we don't know, but I'll tell you this.
Yes.
Mexico better find a new hero.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to find a new guy. Iron Man, but in Spanish, something like that for them, because it ain't Canelo anymore.
Do you guys want to see a little bit of Canelo Triple G? I don't know if you guys have watched any of the footage. Have you seen any of these fights at all? Because I think they're going to pop them up here on the TV.
I love this shit.
And then we can kind of take a look at it, and then you can kind of take a look at your prediction and what that means. This is from the second fight.
Punch right in the head.
Right, so there's Canelo.
And I don't think that Triple G wants it to get to
See
this
that?
point.
See that go right over? That's an uppercut.
Yeah, that
so
is
we
nice.
haven't seen that straight right hand that's going to end. There you go. See him sticking a jab. So this is what I expect. This is what I expect, boys. I expect Canelo to give up the jab a little bit, to give up Gennady throwing the jab, not being able to get inside on anything else. And I think the right hand for this 40-year-old fighter, absolute legend, has slowed down enough that you can see Canelo actually slip it, sort of like the Matrix type thing.
Yeah. We were in the locker room a little bit earlier, and we got some inside information from Gennady Golovkin's team.
Did you?
We were down in the locker room. We got here around 9 a.m. with Robbie, and we've been poking around all day. We found out that earlier, Gennady Golovkin went into Canelo's locker room, sniffed the air, and said, "It smells like straight pussy in here."
Whoa.
Straight up. and then he walked out. And that's the kind of mindset that he's working with right now. That's how he's talking about it, and that's how he feels. And I haven't heard any of the same reports about Canelo saying it smells like straight gato anywhere.
Really? So you're saying that maybe, okay. So there's a crisis of confidence on Canelo's side of the ball.
I mean, after that last fight to Bivol, where is the confidence coming from?
All right, so I'm going to keep on with that. Robbie, Canelo Alvarez loses 2 fights in a row, according to these gentlemen.
Yep.
What does that do to the legacy of a guy that's, again, moonwalking into the Hall of Fame? What does that do to the legacy if that were to happen?
If that were to happen, and especially in the fashion that they're describing tonight, I think it would add. I don't think it would harm the legacy as much as they're saying. I don't think he would never be seen on television again necessarily, but I think it would add an interesting wrinkle to where you look at Jose Aldo over in the MMA world.
Please.
He is one of the greatest featherweights of all time, if not the greatest featherweight to ever live. But you ask a lot of casual fans what they know about Jose Aldo, and they remember him getting knocked out with the first punch of the night at UFC 194 against Conor McGregor. So I think if Canelo Alvarez were to go out there and get knocked out with the first punch of the night tonight, that would be something the public remembers for the rest of their life.
Okay, let's say they're wrong. Let's say these two guys on the off chance that they're wrong and Triple G does lose.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with you if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I think they've said way too much.
Yeah.
What does that do to Triple G's legacy? A 40-year-old guy who has now lost twice, and he's lost twice, has 1 draw, and all to the same guy. He's remembered as being what? Triple G.
The guy who never beat Canelo.
And
that's really tough.
It's tragic.
Yeah.
You think he retires after this if he was to lose?
I don't think so. Maybe just because Canelo seems so intent on retiring him. I saw Canelo said no disrespect, but Triple G is an asshole, and it would be so sweet to retire the man.
Right.
End his career, his pathetic little career. Triple G hates Canelo so much since the incident with the suspension in between fights that I think he'll have 1 extra fight, even if it's against a tomato can, just to prove Canelo Alvarez did not retire him.
Let's talk about that. I don't know if you guys are aware. So after the first fight where Canelo got where it was ruled a draw. Yep. And it was one of the worst boxing cards, judges' cards in history by Adelaide Bird. So everyone was under the impression that Triple G got robbed. A lot of people give that first fight to Triple G. Then before they had the rematch, there was a suspension because Canelo had inadvertently ingested some illegal substances through tainted Mexican sausages. So then they fought again to another very close fight. Some people thought Triple G had won that also, and the decision went to Canelo. So that's how we're coming right now to the draw and 1 win for Canelo, right? So now we're going into this third one. What are your thoughts now knowing that there was some tainted sausage thrown in the mix, Caleb?
I think that the first punch, he's going to hit him so hard. His glove is literally going to come off his hand because it's going to be stuck to Canelo Alvarez's face like a football with some sticky glue in the hands.
Right.
Canelo Alvarez won't even be able to get a fight on an undercard at Rough and Rowdy.
Really?
You never see him again.
You're never going to see him again.
I'm positive about that. I don't know a lot about boxing. I told you that, but I am positive about that. You'll never see Canelo Alvarez after tonight. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, he needed those steroids. He needed the horse sausages. Gennady Golovkin is too smooth, y'all. The white Snoop Dogg. He could moonwalk with steel-toe boots on. That's how smooth my man is.
Quadruple G after tonight.
Exactly. We're adding a G.
You're adding a G tonight.
That's
What's the 4th G? I don't know what the second G
stands
is
for top G. He's the new, after Andrew Tate's gone,
G shit.
Then okay, quadruple G. Okay.
It's like a Young Buck spot.
I don't know what else I can tell you guys before you just go back to the well.
I mean, I want to know what you think about this, Large, because where's the smart bet for this? Obviously, you're on the minority of history thinking that Canelo Alvarez is going to win this fight.
All right, so first and foremost, I want to stop here and remind people that DAZN pay-per-view is the only place that you can get this fight tonight. DAZN pay-per-view. And I also want you to remind you guys that this is a real undercard and that the ring walks that are going to be electric, Alejandro Fernandez, will start as early as 11 p.m. So you have to tune in early to this. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't watch BAM, okay? So that being said, if you want my opinion on the main event, I am a Canelo stan, sometimes even a simp.
Yeah.
I've been in the ring with him twice, so I know more than anybody else here when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. Confidently, I can say that.
Okay.
I've also had Triple G in the studio. I've talked to him. He was my favorite fighter for such a long time. He was an assassin when he first came on the scene. Everybody was afraid to fight him. Probably one of the greatest middleweights I've ever seen, and absolutely a Hall of Famer. But he's 40. Nobody here is 40 except for me, and I'm 50. So I know what happens to a body when it turns 40. And I was an elite athlete at 39, then all of a sudden it just went to shit. And I think even though he's stepping up in weight, this is the first time Triple G is fighting at 168. He fought his whole storied career at 160. Right? Silver medalist in the Olympics. It's been 160 his whole time. Now he's fighting at 168, Canelo's natural weight. I don't mind that because older guys like to be a little bit fatter. But 40-year-old bodies are very susceptible. So what Robbie's saying with Canelo going downstairs, I think is going to be insanely positive for Canelo. I don't see Triple G hitting the canvas because he's such a fucking rock chin warrior. So I like.
But what about the body shots, though, Large? The body shots can take him down.
100%. I think it's going to slow him down, not take him down.
Shot.
The body shot, the one shot.
He's going down first punch with a body shot.
Body shot. He's going to get punched in the tummy so hard that he's going to be sent flying through the wall like the Juggernaut, like the Kool-Aid Man. He's going to bend space-time with how hard he's hurtled through the walls of this very arena.
Are we
murdered in cold blood, and mind you, I said murdered because his performance is going to be so pure. It's not an assassination, it's a murder. No one will remember him. It's a murder, not an assassination.
Okay. I'm going to go on the other side of this and probably on the right side of history. I think that Canelo, by doing this, gets this off his back, and then his next step is the one that kind of frightens me. I don't like the idea of having Bivol, which we all watched that fight. Robbie, you called that fight, and it was one of those things that scares me if we see that again. What are you expecting from ringside, Robbie, with you, Dan, and Dave on the call? What are you expecting down here on ringside?
You know, I think it's going to be a very fun evening. Dave is in a very, very fun mood as well. He was facing some shoulder pain, so he indulged in some legal Las Vegas marijuana, took a hit or two. He's in the best mood I've ever seen him in. This is going to be Dave Portnoy like you've never heard him before.
I saw Dave eating one of those sausages you guys were talking about earlier.
Oh, really?
Room, yeah.
Yeah. I accidentally hit Dave in the bad shoulder.
Oh, no.
He was like, oh, it's okay. So I know he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Because he loves to bitch about that thing.
Yeah.
How's Dan doing? You guys are closer to Dan than I am. I think you were in a pool with him this morning. How's Big Cat feeling? People are very excited to hear about him on the call, too.
Big Cat is wearing a slimming suit. It has some type of elastic in the fabric, so it really hugs his body in a way that you're not going to believe. The only way for you to believe it is DAZN pay-per-view. But Large, I know you're going through some of your own wardrobe problems right now. Bloody ankles on you, my friend.
Just behind on the Achilles.
Yeah.
On this one in particular, brand new shoes.
Yeah.
No regrets. Spider went down and got me some of those pads, so I think I'm going to be okay.
Maxi?
Yes. So I'm going to do this with you guys right now. With the undercard that we're all going to be involved with in different ways, since you had such a bold prediction for the main event, I'm going to throw out the undercard and I want to hear from you guys.
Okay.
The first fight of the night is a guy named Austin Ammo Williams. That's his nickname, Ammo Williams. He's fighting a guy, and he's from Houston. He's fighting a guy from Britain, a guy named Kieran Conway. Who do you like in that one? So in that fight, Austin Williams is a heavy favorite. He's minus 670. He's a powerful southpaw. Everyone loves him. Who do you like in that? Kieran versus Ammo.
Do people still have time to get their bets in?
Yes.
Is there still time?
100%.
You're betting on Kieran. Ammo is going through things right now, unspeakable things.
Okay.
Get this bet in right now. This is almost a gosh darn guarantee.
What do you think?
I love Kieran, and you know I love a fighter from the UK. I loved Ricky Hatton. I love Oasis. I love Kieran.
Ammo, he's all blanks tonight. He's got nothing in the tank. And I almost think they might call that fight. That might not happen tonight. I actually did hear that backstage. That might not even happen.
They're just going to call it.
If you do buy tonight's fight, as you should, just know that fight might not happen.
Okay. So we have one murder and one scratch. How about this? Ali Ahmedov versus Gabriel Rosado. Ali is a big favorite, and he's from Triple G's camp.
That being said, though,
Triple G manages this kid.
Gabe Rosado's a Philly guy.
Gabe Rosado's a Philly guy, tough as nails.
Boricuan. He's a Puerto Rican fella, but he is a Philly guy, even though he did have a tough loss. Who is it against?
Shane Mosley's kid.
Yeah, Shane Mosley's kid. He said he was a little bit flat in that one, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's going up against a stud with a great physique.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
You got to think, too, how much time is Triple G really spending managing? He's been getting ready for this fight. His managing probably hasn't even been up to snuff.
So you guys are both taking the underdog and Gabe Rosado, Philly.
Yes, Philly all day.
How do you feel?
I won't be taking the underdog. I think the Philly boy's going to die tonight.
Philly boy's going to die tonight. That's two murders that we've already predicted.
We're going to put that one in the murder column.
Let's go to the co-main. Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Guys, legitimate superstar, supposedly the future of boxing. Jesse is super flyweight, 115 pounds. Little bit of a guy. He's going up against Israel Gonzalez. Israel Gonzalez. Israel is a big underdog. And like I said, Bam would be the smart call here. Who do you guys like? Bam Rodriguez versus Israel Gonzalez.
I can't tell you confidently enough that this is the only fight on the entire card tonight that I do not know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Every other card, every other fight
honesty.
on this card, I know for 100% fact what is going to happen. This one's up for grabs.
Toss up. Yeah, the only way you're going to find out is by watching the fight, and even then you might not know.
Perfect.
I'm buying into the future of boxing. Call me a fool. I believe the hype. I think Bam's got this one.
I think Bam Rodriguez wins, but I think it probably goes over until he gets used to being at this weight. I'm about to wrap this up, and I want you guys to, please, I'm begging you, DAZN pay-per-view. You got to tune in. It's going to be a great night of fights, possibly 2 murders, possibly a scratch, depending on who you're listening to. And either way, you're going to have Roan and Caleb molesting people in the, I shouldn't say that. You're going to have Roan and Caleb bothering people in the audience. I'm going to be taking a look at fighters as they're coming in. Robbie is going to be ringside with Dan and Dave. It'll be electric night, brought to you on DAZN pay-per-view with Barstool on the call. Thanks very much, guys, obviously. Good luck tonight. Please don't embarrass us. And
good luck,
we'll
guys.
talk to you.
Thanks for having us, Large.